Hello again, everybody, and it's good to see you. I'm going to be reading right now the introductory material for our lesson called A CSI Investigation, What Happened to the Mayans. Really quickly before I start, if you have opened up your PDF file like this, and if you haven't already opened it in another program, something you can just do from this window to make it larger is to press this little magnifying glass down here at the bottom that says Fit to Width. That's what I'm going to do to make it big enough for us all to see. Just a quick little tip. All right, let's get into our material. A crime scene investigation. Background. For 1,200 years, the Mayans dominated Central America. The Mayan civilization peaked in the year 900 CE, when Mayan cities teemed with more than 2,000 people per square mile. Its massive size can be compared to modern-day Los Angeles, California. But suddenly, all went quiet. Everything had disappeared. This profound silence represents one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Mission. It is your mission to find out what happened to the Mayan civilization. What caused this once great civilization? Oh, I'm sorry, I need to move this. I'm in the way. Let me try that again. What caused this once great civilization to fall? Read through the following information closely and carefully. Answer all questions thoroughly in order to document the essential details that surround this case. Present your evidence. After you have analyzed each possible scenario, you will create a project that shows the clues and evidence you've gathered. More information will be given at a later time. All materials in this case are confidential. Classified information. Read carefully through this introduction to the case, detective. The Mayan civilization, an overview. The Mayan civilization was one of the most sophisticated in the pre-Columbian Americas. It extended from southeastern Mexico across modern-day Guatemala, Belize, and the western parts of Honduras and El Salvador. Never entirely unified as one group, the Mayans were a collection of kingdoms that lived independently. Each Mayan kingdom had its own king, rules, and local traditions. Relations between the Mayan kingdoms could be both positive and negative experiences. At times, kingdoms traded peacefully and practiced intermarriage. However, invasions often led to brutal wars among the Mayan people. Mayan cities were known for being very religious. These cities, such as the most famous cities of Chichen Itza and Tikal, featured a dramatic stepped pyramid topped by a temple sanctuary. Here, the Mayans worshipped nature gods, especially the gods of sun, rain, and corn. Near the temple was a palace, which is where the Mayan elite lived, and was also the center of government. Many Mayan cities also featured ball courts that would be used for leisure and athletic activities. These courts consisted of two parallel walls between which a ritual game using a rubber ball was played. This was a primitive form of racquetball or even basketball. The Mayans, oops, there we go. The Mayans produced impressive works of art, specifically known for their ceramic vases and carved stone monuments. Their stone monuments often portrayed former rulers. Mayan musicians perfected the use of flutes, which were made from wood and bone, and trumpets were used to welcome visitors to the king's court. Large maracas have been excavated throughout modern-day Belize, and while no archaeological evidence has been found of drums, there is a record of Mayan writings that describe drums and other percussion instruments that were used during ceremonies. Music was an essential part of Mayan culture. In fact, dances, theater plays, rituals, and even warfare would have been unthinkable without musical support. Perhaps the greatest achievement of the Mayans was their understanding of astronomy and mathematics. They were able to predict solar eclipses and used astrological cycles to help determine the best time for crop planting and harvesting. The Mayans also created a very accurate calendar system. One calendar they created consisted of 365 solar days, which is surprisingly similar to the one we use today. Finally, the Mayans were able to understand the concept of zero 1,000 years before Europeans. Despite being far ahead of their time in their understanding of the world, the Mayan civilization began to mysteriously decline starting around 800 CE. Building and monument making suddenly stopped, and the Mayan people vacated their cities. Their great cities soon became uninhabited and overgrown by the surrounding wilderness. When Europeans arrived in the Americas in the early 16th century, they found the Mayan people living in small villages on the outskirts of their once great cities. What caused this once great civilization to fail? Let's see if I can read that right. What caused this once great civilization to fail? This investigation will guide you through a variety of theories that try to explain what happened to the Mayan civilization. All right, that's it, guys. See you in the next video.